Bitterness is emotional pain that stayed too long inside the mind. It develops when disappointment, betrayal, rejection, or unfair treatment is never emotionally released. Psychologically, bitterness slowly changes how you see people, life, and yourself. What once felt like temporary hurt becomes permanent negativity. Over time, bitterness steals peace, weakens trust, and keeps the mind emotionally trapped in the past. Most bitterness comes from wounds that were never fully healed. The mind keeps replaying painful experiences, searching for justice, closure, or understanding. Psychologically, unresolved emotions remain active beneath the surface, influencing thoughts and behavior daily. The longer pain remains unprocessed, the stronger bitterness becomes. Emotional wounds ignored today often return later as resentment, anger, and emotional exhaustion. Bitterness survives through resentment. The mind holds on to memories of betrayal, disrespect, or disappointment, refusing to let them go. Psychologically, resentment creates emotional attachment to pain. You continue reliving situations long after they ended. This emotional replay strengthens negativity and prevents healing. Instead of moving forward, the mind remains emotionally chained to past experiences and emotional suffering. Over time, bitterness can slowly reshape personality and behavior. People become colder, more suspicious, emotionally distant, and less trusting. Psychologically, the mind builds emotional walls to avoid future pain. What began as protection eventually becomes isolation. Bitterness affects relationships, communication, and emotional connection, making it harder to experience peace, happiness, and genuine closeness with others. Many people hold on to bitterness because they believe it gives them power or protection. Psychologically, staying angry feels safer than becoming vulnerable again. But bitterness does not protect the mind, it imprisons it. The emotional energy spent holding resentment drains peace and mental strength. True emotional control comes from healing, not from carrying emotional poison for years inside yourself. Getting rid of bitterness begins by accepting that the past cannot be changed. Psychologically, constant attachment to painful memories keeps emotional wounds open. Healing starts when you stop reliving every disappointment repeatedly. Letting go does not mean approving what happened. It means refusing to allow those experiences to continue controlling your emotions, thoughts, and emotional peace every single day. Forgiveness is one of the strongest psychological tools against bitterness. It is not weakness, and it does not erase accountability. Psychologically, forgiveness frees the mind from emotional captivity. Holding hatred damages the person carrying it more than the person who caused the pain. Forgiveness allows emotional energy to return toward healing, growth, inner peace, and rebuilding emotional stability again. Bitterness creates constant emotional tension, making peace feel impossible. Rebuilding inner peace requires shifting focus away from pain and toward growth. Psychologically, the mind heals when attention moves toward purpose, gratitude, and self-improvement. New experiences slowly weaken the emotional intensity of old wounds. Peace returns when your future becomes more important than your unresolved past experiences. Pain can either create wisdom or create bitterness. Psychologically, the difference depends on how experiences are processed internally. People who grow from suffering learn lessons without allowing pain to define their identity. Bitterness keeps the mind trapped in victimhood, while growth creates emotional strength. The moment you choose learning over resentment, emotional transformation begins slowly but powerfully within you. Getting rid of bitterness is ultimately about reclaiming emotional freedom. Carrying resentment for years only prolongs suffering and damages mental peace. Psychologically, healing happens when you stop feeding painful memories with constant emotional energy. Life becomes lighter when anger, resentment, and emotional heaviness lose control over your thoughts. True strength appears when peace becomes more valuable than revenge or emotional pain. Accept that the past cannot be changed, because constant emotional attachment keeps bitterness alive. Stop replaying painful memories repeatedly, as overthinking strengthens resentment and emotional exhaustion. Practice forgiveness, not to excuse others, but to free your own mind from emotional captivity. Focus on personal growth and future goals, instead of remaining trapped in old pain. Surround yourself with positive people and healthy environments that encourage healing rather than negativity. Finally, practice gratitude daily to shift attention from loss toward value and progress. Psychologically, Bitterness weakens when the mind stops feeding pain with constant emotional energy and starts choosing peace, healing, resilience, and emotional freedom instead. D. Emotional stability over time.